It is their best map in terms of win percentage, 5-1 on this map. And this is, I believe, a stronghold for Extra Assault, but can you call it a stronghold without that critical player of MOTM? I'm curious about that. That's another big factor, I think, that Extra Assault were
Right.
lacking on Inferno, and that could open a window or a door, perhaps, for Rise Esports Club, but already I like this little fast run boost towards AC outside for OC. Not going to be able to get anything yet on top of credits, and he'll just have to drop.
Okay, so Rise Sports Club playing a little bit more over towards the outside area with some insurance policies over in lobby to potentially make their take in. Yeah, it's a little bit weird here, Boggs, because Extra Salt, they have a pretty good record, but the one team that they ended up losing to, Recon 5, yeah, they like Nuke. They really do. I think they're 7-2 at the moment, but it's a little bit weirder to me, right? Because they're their most recent Cash Cup, like, right, you would expect them to barrel through a team like Recon 5, but I don't know. I think that's just a little bit of maybe just a smoking gun in the back of my mind, but let's see some guns actually fire off though. Sonic, JT, it's so clean. All the action just happens within 3 seconds. Both JT and Sonic tapping away. And not only that, but they still had an insurance policy, Boggs. They had Marky there just chilling.
Yeah, they didn't need everybody. OC's also rotated in to help out and join the party a little bit late, fashionably late, you might say. But Rise Esports Club decimated. And that's the response you need from Extra Salt. Chuck that last Inferno game in the bin. Put all your eggs in one basket, because this has devolved into a best of one. Winner of this map wins the series. And it's always good to start things off with that pistol round victory. Clean at that, no bomb plant from Rise. That was what, 4 taps in the couple seconds? I don't even think it was, I think it was
Yeah, we
like
need to
2,
see a replay.
maybe 1. Let's see. Yeah, the flash goes in. 1, 2, 3.
Player essentially jumped into Sonic's crosshair too. That's all too fortunate for Extra Salt. And now going into this one, because of how clean they kept things and really denying that bomb plant for Rise, the only thing that they have going for them are the Glocks, and they tried to pull off a cheeky play over towards Vent, and that just doesn't work out. They leave bomb on that side, and now with the lobby crunch, well, not exactly lobby crunch, the ramp crunch, it is going to be OC, at least taking down one. Good trades back, though, but Fang restricting the damage, needs to get a rifle here quick, and indeed he does. Quick upgrade. Extra Salt dropping 2 guns, though. That is going to be a small bit of a detriment to their economy. But Rise Esports Club, they have a buyback.
I think if OC has a helmet, he probably gets at least 1 more out of that instead of the aim punch sending his crosshair to the sky.
Right.
But Rise, they win this round. The money on Extra Salt's not great. They can get themselves back into this and start getting some momentum early on the T side. Outside lurk smoke being thrown first. Flash goes into Fang gonna duck in towards Red Box, though, but he's gonna get caught out. He's looking for a silo player. He's looking up towards the heavens, and he falls down to the depths of hell. That is not the start that Extra Salt need. Instead, it's gonna be a secret push from Rise, and this could be huge, as there's only one player here to defend. It is JT, but there could be rotations fast and furious. OC down the ramp, but if he pushes out, he might get caught. It's a good smoke from Sonic, though, towards Radio. Maybe we'll stall out a little bit. Marky. That's a critical kill to even the manpower.
Yeah, I think that play from Fang was I think it's because he got full flash. He might have been discombobulated in terms of actual movement. So I'm not exactly going to chalk it up in terms of him watching over towards Silo. I think he was just lost in not only the flash but also the smoke. But this time now, Extra Salt, not lost in terms of positioning. Like you mentioned, JT in such a pivotal position, takes down the bomb carrier featally onto 8-2. 1 bullet onto Domerin, does it, and indeed he gets it. Saturn now the last one remaining in a 1v3.
He's going to need a huge play to be able to win this round. Marky swings, though, and Marky lands the headshot. 3-0 the start for Extra Salt, only losing 2 as well. Going to be critical for their economy. No bomb plant for Rise, means no rifles for Rise. Let's look at this hold again from JT, though, from back boxes. That second kill onto Aiden is critical. And this final one, playing around, just sprays away. Knows Demorin's got to peek eventually. Gets the headshot. A little bit of overkill there for JT, but I think that he'll take that, and Extra Salt would love this 3-0 start. It's not their best start, but I think it's their most confident start. that they've
Oh
had all
yeah, for
series.
sure. I mean, that's the first time that we've seen Extra Salt actually win out the third round conversion. So yeah, no, for sure. They're better start thus far and looking a little bit more confident doing so, especially when you start looking around kind of the mannerisms in terms of movements and choke points. A little bit more cocky in a sense, and this time it's a lot of early chip damage. That M4 spray could have connected a little bit better, but Aiden stays alive, so Rise Esports Club, barely any util to actually work with. It's just going to be Domarin just knocking in a couple of flashes, and Aiden, okay, resets his aim, and he's still able to get a second. Still a couple of players on site. Sonic takes one back, but Aiden, he's absolutely fragging out. Gets himself at least a third, could potentially get a fourth, but he's out of there, Boggs. Great movement from Aiden. So not only does he pick up a couple of kills, but the cash for the team of of Rise Esports Club, there you go, is able to get a little bit better. In a little bit of an off angle, though. Sonic and JT both over towards Squeaky's side. Aiden just waiting for his opportunity to pop, waiting for the players to go right into his crosshair, and him being out in the open, a single body shot does it. So Sonic and JT, yes, they survive, but look at the economic damage, Boggs.
There's a good amount of economic damage here. I want to see what the money's going to be like when we are all said and done. OC probably going to be a little worse for wear. Same for Marquis. Fang has more than enough cash, and Sonic will grab the AUG. Okay, the money's actually not that bad at all. It's not great, but it's not terrible. They'll have full rifles and utility. Well, but after this round is where things get a little more messy, I think, and this is the round where Rise are going to be back on the rifles.
Well, that's the point, right? It's just the damage. It's just the long-term effect of things. Is, I mean, Rise, they have their guns back. I mean, off of this, you already see not only a round back for Rise, but also would be momentum, potentially a half buy from Extra Salt. So just keeping them up against the ropes like this is really good pace.
Got the off duel between Demoran and OC potentially coming through here. Fang in towards Garage. Here's some noise into the secret stairs. As there's no qualms about running from Rise right now. OC's holding from Decon stairs. This is a great angle to hold. Just get the kill and fall away. Dodges the flashbang. Holds the first. Marquis there for a swing. OC mops up another. Marquis traded. I like this play from Saturn into the vents to try and pick off OC, but he has to be wise to this now. Holding the angle. Misses the shot, though. And this could be a huge opportunity for Saturn. OC has to fail. That's a wise call. The bomb at his feet, I believe, as well. Sonic drops down the vents and drops Saturn, too. And Caber, the last alive, lurking outside. Not much he can do here, Gus, unless he's able to catch a backstab and isolate some 1v1s.
That's the whole goal for Caber. 45 seconds left. Not exactly all the time in the world, but Extra Salt congregating around one uniform area. Surround these back lanes of B. Slowly but surely making his way in. OC has the angle, and OC gets it. Runs right into it, stops. Den distracts Extra Salt with a 5th round, and what I said earlier in terms of economy for Extra Salt, it's starting to solidify finally. But Rise Esports Club, because of their full loss bonus, they're going to be just fine moving forward.
Yes, they will, though no bomb plant will hamper their buy just a little bit. That's a good bait and switch there for Marquis and OC. If OC gets that kill into Saturn, it makes things a lot better. Timeout, though, called for Rise to try and settle things down. They'll have buys again, although Aiden will be limited to a Galil. He should be the only one who takes a hit like that. No op should be coming out from the T side, though, although on Nuke, I don't necessarily think a T-sided op is necessary. In fact, a lot of times it can slow you down on some of the fast plays that I think Rise need to take advantage of Extra Salt with. I want to see a split into mini. I want to see outside smokes leading into a mini split right now from Rise. I think this could catch Extra Salt off and maybe get themselves a window of opportunity. You send a couple players through Hut, you send 3 through mini outside, and catch somebody off. You get that A side down and hold for a retake. Do something along those lines, but Aiden's going to take some early damage. Oh, here comes the mini play from Saturn. Oh, yeah.
No, it's huge over towards the outside area. But not only that, but over in lobby, they're trying to make their way through. Early Molly, too. They do have a smoke up for them to try to make their way right into vent, but those smokes are dissipating, and not only that, but the spray through from Sonic catches down Caber, Domarin, and Feedly. Now stuck in a 2v5 in a pretty tricky position. So, Boggs, what you were saying earlier in terms of that pressure, I mean, it's also immaculate.
Extra Salt countering it perfectly. It seems like they found their stride here on Nuke. Looks like they were a little shaky on Inferno, and I would say on Overpass too, there were some very rough points for them. But now they've really started to stabilize. They've found their stride with Marquee. It took them a couple maps, but they're really starting to fire on all cylinders now, with no real opportunity for Rise. The counter utility's been great from Extra Salt, and the lack of experience on this map too is showing for Rise very heavily. They're pretty
One
much
final pick from OC would do it. There you go. So 6-0 now for Extra Salt. Rise Esports Club mentioned that they have full loss bonus now, but that really isn't going to help them, at least in this round. I don't really see a force buy up, just a quick half buy. So this is the Extra Salt that we were expecting really going into this entire set.
100%. I was expecting some of the momentum from Inferno to carry over here, but that's the thing too. We spoke to JT early on in the pregame. He said that that family aspect to this team is very good in situations where they do take a big loss early on, or they do lose a map. It really gets them back in the game, and we're seeing that here. A 6-0 start after losing map number 2. It's a very good spot for Extra Salt to be in. The Pistols should denote it to a 7-0. But there's always a good chance, especially with OC isolated and alone. Marquee smoked off, and OC getting CSGO with the wall.
What? Okay,
oh
sprayed through Tech 9's. They're working bugs. What on earth is going on?
Tech 9 diff.
Tech 9 diff. Watch out for a player in the corner. It's Sonic.
Oh,
yes. Oh, love this. The trigger discipline at its absolute finest. Aiden peaks, but he's still able to get the second. Okay, that's just a little bit awkward. A little bit comedic too. Looks back right at him. They maintain eye contact. But that's all they needed, right? That's the equalization of the round. But Domerin, he's already known that he's in this back lane because of Sonic's trigger discipline. This is massive.
Oh, man. I was about to say, I wonder when somebody's going to turn around and stare right at him. And then sure enough. Sonic should get a third here, as Nemorin will get caught napping. And Saturn, the last alive. This is a winnable clutch for him. There is low HP on Fang. A rifle or two should be strewn around the floor. But Sonic seems to have found his own personal form. But wait, the bomb is exposed. Yeah. Saturn doesn't have a lot of time. I don't think he has time, even if he wins this duel.
He's just got to die at this point. You're still... Wait, whoa. Fang? Just gotta hold up, buddy. Gotta get this bomb. No. Fang, no way. What bullet would do it? Fang still fought that. What are you doing? Giving me the biggest of heart attacks. Fang could have been dunisted right then and there. But Saturn, yes, he stays alive. He gets no cash from it. But Box, oh, that just hurts a little bit to even see.
I think Fang was expecting the stick from Saturn.
Right, of course. Yeah.
So he swung that, but he swung a hair too early. He looked a little jumpy in that situation the whole entire time, almost peaking before the bomb tick sound was even made. But he does win it in the end, just by a hair. Extra Salt up to a 7-0 scoreline. Will we see your favorite scoreline, though, Gus? I don't know. I think it might be an 8-0.
Yes, my favorite, if you could say it that way. Saturn holds W right through the molly. Same thing with Aiden. Aiden down to 26 HP. A lot of unfortunate but very necessary damage as they're the ones to make space. But oh yes, the timing. Fang takes down Dormerin on his full control lobby, isolating all of these players back over towards site. Aiden again, 26 HP. He's burning alive and he's gonna burn to death here, Bog. Still now a 1v2. Feedly trying to make his way back. Good stuff from Caber, still getting himself a frag back. But now JT and OC, a little bit better of an angle, going for a ninja defuse, and OC, good reaction, just getting the kill back. 8-0 Extra Salt. Finally ramping on the rounds, and they've already won the half.
They've won the half, and we've only played 8. It's been a mop-up so far from Extra Salt. We got a replay here of the Saturn versus Fang play. He just barely taps the bomb. And actually, I think if Fang just hides in the corner, Saturn can't get him.
I mean, yes, right? You would think so, but also it's that whole transition point back for Fang where, I mean, he's got nowhere to go. Like you said, you're jumpy in that situation. It's just difficult, right? Not everyone's a clutch minister, but still, Fang won it out. That's all that matters.
Yes, indeed. We got
In all
guns
reality,
again for
though.
Rise, though.
Yeah, Rise, lot of damage actually early on from Extra Salt onto Rise as they make their way through ramp. I did like the noise that they were making over towards the A site, but none of it matters. JT with a cleanup, getting himself 3, holding solo in ramp, and Theodily now down to 22 HP. Oh, realistically, he has nowhere to go.
Yeah, Fiddly in another 1vx, this time a 1v4. JT with the ramp hold was very, very solid. That Molotov buying him a lot of time and isolating a 1v1. Spraying through that gets a lot of damage too, and he got a kill spraying through that molly on the initial duel. Then the other player forced forward was easy pickings softened up, and Fiddly will fall to Fang this time, tagged down by JT as well. The IGL locking things down on ramp, but actually leading the charge for his squad right now. So good work there from JT. Everybody on Extra Salt, though, is winning their duels handedly over Rise. And this is a far cry from the Rise we saw on Inferno or even Overpass. It's a team that looks like they're going out with a bit of a whimper, rather than a team that just took a map off of Extra Salt and are coming into a third with a chance to win.
Oh boy, lots of early damage too being made. Over into lobby as Sonic does take one back, but beaming through the smoke. Good stuff from Aiden. Still Fang has a nice angle on long, and he's just holding it down. The outside area is his and his only, although it is a scoped rifle. Using it unscoped. Up close and personal is all that matters. JT takes one back on ramp, and now once again it's a 1vx. This time Aiden is going to go down very quickly. 10th round for Extra Salt. Rise Esports Club not dipping too much into their wallets for that round, so they're going to be able to reinvest. Don't really know how many times we can really say that, Bugs, because now Extra Salt, they're rolling in it.
They are. Actually, you would expect a team to have a little more money when they're up 10-0. Fang does have quintuple digits. OC not too far behind. But then you look at Sonic at 2450. He's still foregoing a helmet.
Right.
It's surprisingly weird and weak economically. But outside has not been an answer for Rise. Inside has not been an answer. Fang definitely has been the answer for Extra Salt, though. Although Aiden trades. OC, good aggression around the red box. We'll trade it back to a 4v3. And it still should be going the way of Extra Salt here, unless they can get a couple kills on the outside players and split some.
Extra Salt, they've been going aggressive outside. Round after round. It's just a matter of time before it gets exposed, but it's not this time for sure. OC and Fang, yes, they go down, but this time it's going to come down to the spread after. With just about a minute left, it is down to a 2-on-2, but oh, the pre-aim, the pre-fire from Aiden, that's so good. Sonic now in a 1v2. This is the first clutch we've had to see anyone from Extra Salt actually go for. But in we go. Sonic already real close double door. Domerin with the molly up and trades him out. Rise Esports Club, they got one on the board.
They do indeed. Sonic nearly pulling that one back, though. If there's no Molotov, I think Sonic has a legitimate chance to win that one. But overall, Rise played that well in the 2v2 situation. That initial pick from Aiden was amazing on the marquee out towards Hell. And they finally get their first round on the board. If they can get the last 4, I would say there's a decent chance. But the way that this game has been going so far, I still don't know if Rise can pull it off.
I do like the adjustment, though, from Extra Salt. Kind of realizing that their luck has ran out. No outside pressure in terms of getting up close and personal on red box. Instead, it's OC playing around with space. He does get smoked out right when he goes for the peek. It's a little bit unfortunate. Marky, however, will beam in through the smoke. Lots of early damage. Onto Caber. OC with an even better cheeky spot.
I like this.
Oh, if he maintains that angle there onto Aiden, could potentially take it back, but OC is still staying posted. Multiple players making their way out of garage, though. And OC, he has the intuition to check. There's multiple players helping him out. Theodily getting pinched. And Fang is there for the cleanup. Attaboy. Aiden and Domerin now the last 2 remaining. Nice drop from Aiden. Trying to be a hero. Ends up being 0. Extra Salt, 11-1.
He did get the 1 on the marquee.
Okay, 1. Sorry, I can't say
round.
0.
It's rough.
0 round.
Yeah, it's another timeout from Rise, but this is the extra salt I think we expected going to the series, Gus. I
Yeah.
think this is what we were coming in here like, okay, this is what extra salt's capable of. And we know it. This is also why in the pregame I was wondering why extra salt didn't pick Nuke.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we were also wondering why Rise didn't pick D2 either, but that's a whole different
Oh,
topic.
their Inferno looked very solid, so that one made sense to me.
Yeah, no, for sure. That one made total sense, but if we're talking about, pregame, right? We're just like,
Yeah.
oh, D2. That's like a map that Extra Salt just doesn't play, and they didn't end up banning it. So a lot to talk about in terms of just the map picks and bans overall. But I mean, we're in this situation now. Rise, they somehow need to get themselves out of it. And well, the only thing that they have to work with in this round are upgraded pistols and a whole lot of util.
The util could get something, but I like this play from Saturn fast into mini, but Fang is there for a mow down, does go down to the flames, and well, Caver's just got himself two, one with the flames and one with a hand cannon, bringing it to a 3v3. They drop down the vents and in towards B. This could be a bomb plant for free for Rise Esports Club, and that does seem to be the case here, but they don't have a lot of utility left for these post plants, and more importantly, they don't have the rifles for these post plants.
Let's see what goes down. Trying to clear every angle possible, but most of the players from Rise Esports Club congregated around site, so Extra Salt, they're essentially just chucking time off their own clock by checking these angles. Good molly from Domerin. That's going to delay so much time from the Squeaky Peak. Has to go into Feedily. They're checking every angle possible. Has to go for the defuse. Domerin still holding it down, and that's it. No way. Off the pistols, and these players are dead. JT wants to fight, and he's still going to be able to get it. Barely makes it far away enough, but again, Boggs, that time management, just on them checking every single angle possible because of the pistols, because of the off angles. That's what led to their demise at the very end of things.
Yeah, this play from Saturn could have gone so well. With Fang getting those 2 kills, you think it's pretty much done, but Caber, that second shot onto the Heaven player opens up a whole window of opportunity for Rise Esports Club, and they ran with that bit of momentum they got back, and now Demorn has the op. He tags down Sonic quite considerably, and OC burns in the fire as well. Marky getting a little aggressive, pays for it, and Rise are setting themselves up for another round on the board. They are not done just yet.
Certainly not. Aiden has been very much a consistent fragger for this team thus far in this game. Still back into form a little bit. Again, Marky. We were talking about what could be Marky's impact, especially with this being his first ever game with Extra Salt. His first official game since 2020. I think it was either August or September. So very, very long ago did we actually see Marky in an official server. And well, in that round at least, he was there as I guess pushing out a situation. He's been an insurance policy throughout the game too, in a couple of off angles. But this time, Extra Salt, most of the other players playing their solid positions, are getting a little bit scrappy in a sense. Fang, he's been playing red box a whole lot, and this time it just doesn't work. But the AUG lineup from JT, they opt to go for the A sites, and OC and JT hold it down.
What a play from second Vens from a JT to start things off. That lineup on the double swing works out so well for him. OC helping out with the op from outside. And Extra Salt around, they seem to be looking a little soft on. They come back and pull it back. Individual effort there from JT and OC. What you want to see from a veteran team like Extra Salt, they might have a very low average age. It's somewhere in the low 20s, around 22, 23 years old. I believe it's closer to 22, if not a little more, 21 point something. But this is a team with so much experience for their young age, wise beyond their years, and when the going gets tough and around, you got to step up individually and make a big play.
Right. You got to give it up to both, actually JT, Sonic, and Marky, all being actually immigrant players having to move over to not just North America, but the United States in general, having to get used to the system. Well, folks, they really have to counteract now. Got to get used to this push because now Rise, they actually do get a lot of damage in. Aiden and Feedily, both with frags, but now they have control of the A site, but with the bomb plant going down, have to somehow find optimal positions. OC and JT. Playing around the heaven area, but Fang just trying to hold solo. And Feedly goes for a hero play with a Mac 10. Aiden gonna be able to get one back, but JT putting the nail in the coffin, at least for the 13-2. So Boggs, we finally made it to the halfway point. It's the extra salt that we anticipated. Their CT side, immaculate to say the least. The second half should be at least a little bit better for Rise Esports Club. Folks, stay tuned as we go into the second half and see if extra salt can close this one out.
Whatever it is, it just feels so real. And your eyes keep on talking in the silence, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing now, yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping you are getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah? Tell me something, tell me something. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone.
Yeah, I see no signals, no signs. Girl, you be tripping, no lies, nah. You said je ne sais pas. I flew in all the way for this. I'm not here to waste your time. I just can't give you vibes, you changed a bit. Girl, you mad teasing. I don't mind leaving, just let me know. She told me take it easy. Hey, yeah. I just came here to make y'all feel good. You know what the message is. Suddenly you're with me now. You know what the message is. I be running wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience. Ain't no conversation.
Welcome on back, folks. Nuke, and it's a 13-2 blowout thus far for Extra Salt. You're listening to Up Mine and Boggs here for Esea Premier. And Rise Esports Club, they were looking pretty good going into this map, but seems like Nuke is their kryptonite.
Yeah, they look a far shadow of their former selves. It's a completely different team almost from what we saw on Inferno and even on Overpass. We saw this team even in the rounds they lost getting kills, but here on Nuke, they have been pretty much washed out completely by Extra Salt. They do move to the now favored CT side, but can they recover from a 13-2 deficit? It's almost impossible to come back from a scoreline like this. They need a clean pistol round at the very least. If Extra Salt win this one, Rise Esports Club are just about done.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if it actually goes down then. Extra Salt. Full lobby. Going through HUD, actually. They were thinking about it. Seeing if they could actually trade out an early kill, just in case anyone from Rise Esports Club actually went for the cheeky peek. But instead, they re-aim over towards ramp. There's nobody there to actually trade out, just a singular person just to get that contact in and out. Extra Salt make their way down.
Speedily trying to hold the line, gets taken down though. Caber pops open decon door, taps away, but is going to live. However, it's a bit of a moot point as there is no way to really stop that plant. Full control of Extra Salt B side now as they push on down. Aiden into the meat grinder. OC Fang lining up for two. The Morin might have flashed them, but Fang will push forward and take him down as well. Caber the last alive in a 1v5. Not much you can do here as the bomb ticks further and further away. And this map and this series push further and further out of reach. Good little flank there. What? Caber with an amazing flick onto OC. Fang right there for the trade, but still, that's a fancy little shot by Caber to at least get one Pyrrhic victory of a kill.
Oh, man. If I jumped in my seat, imagine how Fang's feeling. Holy.
Right.
That's crazy. Okay. Other than that, very clean. 14-2 now. As Rise Esports Club, they have no option other than to force up. Double scouts, not exactly a bad idea here on Nuke, but it all depends how they're used, and one of the scouts already go down. Feedly, time to farm. Gonna be able to get one couple of headshots to go, but only one and done. Caber, Saturn, Aiden, last few remaining. Caber trying to fight things out over in lobby. Marky able to take that one. Line up for Caber with the 5-7.
That might flip the script a little bit here, as it's a 2v2, but Saturn does not have arm. Saturn? Did you not see OC?
Did you not hear him?
I'm questioning both there.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little confused.
That's okay. I mean, it could have been under him too. Couple of different aspects to that play, but I guess we move on. Caber. He's been big impact fragger for this team thus far, and he's now sitting up with a Galil, trying to make his way on site. Has a molly and a flash to work with, but this off angle from Fang. Same thing with OC playing back over towards ramp, just trying to cross over in both double door and window. But with a bomb ticking down, Caber has no chance. The best thing that this man can do is potentially an exit frag, but he's not going to find anything. He's out of there, Boggs. 15th round for extra salt.
Caber will save a Galil, but it's a far cry from what Rise Esports Club need. They need a lot of rifles. They need an op for Demorin. They need hope, and they do not have that hope. 13 match points for extra salt. Not just map points at this point. It's map 3 of a best of 3. Winner of this one takes the series in extra salt. They have 13 chances to do so. Timeout called by Rise. I mean, anything's possible. I'm all for positivity, but 15-2, it's not even the famous, we were down 15-5. Did we win? Of course not 16-5. It's 15-2.
That's even worse in that extent. The true words of Kevin Garnett. And at this point, I think Rise Esports Club, I think they've already ran out of the anything is possible aspect of things just by taking up that map number 2. But I mean, I've been so detrimental about this team thus far in this broadcast, dude. What a performance from Rise, right? They come to a map that they're not exactly super comfortable on, but they still had really good counterplay. And I mean, honestly, I'm floored. I don't think I will be considering them too heavy underdogs going forward. And at least in this round, who knows what they could try to pull off. Marky, that's a little bit unlucky though. Straight through the wall, gets a headshot onto Feedly. But Saturn actually, aggressive play. Same thing with Caber, combining, getting a couple of frags. 3v4 now, Boggs, as this just might work.
It could just work here. The timeout might make its magic happen. A little push from Aiden in towards Hut could yield some results too. But OC and Sonic are going to peek towards ramp where Feedly awaits, spots out the head of one and just drops down, masks the sound with the shots, but everybody knows what that means. Where do they go from here?
It's like trying to cover a Velcro with a scream or a zipper with a scream. That whole military thing, I'm like, it works in certain situations, right? But it is what it is. Domerin, that's huge onto OC. But they have not cleared Squeaky at all. Fang is here, but Sonic, even bigger, takes down Aiden and Domerin. These last two players now low on HP. They have to fight up close. They got the MP9s. Molly up in heaven. That's going to delay time for Saturn 2. Somehow needs to make his way up. Timing things now with Feedly. Feedly, such an important spot. Not going to be able to get the frag. Wide swing from Fang. Now Saturn, 19 HP. He's on site. He has full sight of the bomb. But now Sonic, Fang biding their time. And they're finally going to win it out. Boggs, it finally happened. Extra salt. Looking like the extra salt of old. Getting themselves a win over Rise Esports Club 2-1.
It seemed like an inevitability on Nuke after that fast start from Extra Salt. They were not losing many players in their initial rounds. They were not losing players for most of that whole first half. And onto the second, things got a little more messy, but it is the T set of Nuke. And overall, they walk over Rise on a map that Rise are not too comfortable on. Extra Salt are. And that is the expected result of this series, an Extra Salt win. Not necessarily, though, the scoreline we might have anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, Extra Salt kind of reaping the rewards of having a nice deep map pool, whereas Rise maybe not super comfortable on some of those fringe maps. Maybe if they get in the center of the map pool or play some of these other teams, they'll have a bit better of a run of things. But it was a promising showing there, up mine, to be honest. You know, especially those first two maps, I felt like they were going pound for pound with Extra Salt, which is no small feat. You know, this is a very, very good team in the context of North America, even if they did just change a player quite quickly before that series. I mean, I guess it's not really much of an excuse because Rise did the same, and they had pretty good results doing so. Yeah. So, I mean, are you happy with that showing for Rise, even though they still couldn't get themselves a W on the board in Esea Premier?
Yeah, no, very much so. I'm just very happy with the fact that Rise Esports Club, they were given a platform against Extra Salt to actually really shine on two maps that they had a prowess on. So at least now going forward, whoever faces Rise Esports Club, maybe the task might be a little bit taller or potentially easier now that you know they have two very strong maps, especially taking Extra Salt the distance. But yeah, no, that in terms of individual fragging, you could not have asked for a better debut from Caber. I mean, I've almost been begging for this guy to get his own opportunities in the Premier scene, and he finally has one back. Very glad to see him here.
Well, we did see the conclusion of that game up the top there. Extra Salt kind of dealing with Rise quite handily on that last map, but we do have a fair amount of other results coming through as well there, Boggs. We do still have one of the games going between Triumph and Third Impact into that third map there, but any of these other results kind of catching your eye?
I think GGPR getting a map off of Mythic is a pretty solid result from them. Mythic's a team that usually ends up in the top 8. And a team that's towards the top of the table right now. GGPR is a team that's trying to fight now for a spot towards the top. But I think Recon 5 2-0ing RBG is another pretty spicy one. So RBG had a solid lead. I think it was 13-9 the last I saw on map number 2 over Recon 5. But Recon 5 brought it back. High Coast over Imperium 2-0 I think is an expected scoreline. But Recon 5 getting that 2-0 clean win over RBG and GGPR grabbing a map off of Mythic are the two scores that I think are the standouts in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you have a team that's more or less around your level or sort of in the same sort of position in the group, some of those games are kind of the clutch games that put you between that 4th and 5th position and qualify you for the playoffs and versus potentially missing out and not really being in the money. So that's not really where you want to be. All things considered, though, Rise still having a bit of a rough run. Even though they did have a good showing today, they still are not having a good time in their group there, Upmind. How confident are you that they will be able to turn that around after seeing them play with a new player, after seeing them take it to one of the best teams in this competition? How much do you think they're going to be able to turn around that bad start to the group and try to get into playoffs there?
Well, that's tough. I think really the one goal for Rise is to try to stay alive in Premier at this point. It'll be tough. They still have 2 wins under their belt, and that could definitely carry them to at least try to make their way into a fringe 4th pick. Especially with GGPR and Oceanus being at around that region too. So honestly, yeah, Rise does indeed have a chance to make their way into playoffs. Although, I mean, what a kind of a flip to the script, right? Because last season, you think about MDL, and they ended up actually coming into Premier off of a default. Essentially, a team had actually forfeited their spot very early into the season, and they were just like, all right, Rise, you guys were closest in advanced, you guys go. So they were given such a big opportunity, and I'm so glad to really see them finally come out in their own and really trying to solidify their lineup.
They're making the best of it. Had a pretty decent run here today, gaining some much-needed experience. On the flip side of the coin, though, let's have a chat to someone from Extra Salt after that win. We do have OC on the line. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Thanks for the interview. I just wanted to ask you, obviously we did see you guys, at least the core of the team, playing in Pro League quite recently, having a chat before to JT, he said your goals are pretty lofty. You want to be up there with the top of NA, like we've seen you contest before. Who are you worried about contesting you for that one spot to qualify into Pro League in terms of this competition, if anyone?
I would say probably Triumph at the moment. We've been scrimming them a good amount, and all our scrims are pretty close. But yeah, other than Triumph, I'm not too sure. I think Third Impact have gotten a lot better over the past couple of weeks. Just scrimming them as well, so they could also be a contestant. But I think it'll be either Triumph or Bad News Bears as well. Sorry, I forgot about Bad News Bears, but I think Bad News Bears or Triumph would be the top contender for us.
Okay, couple teams to keep your eye on there. Upmind and then Boggs, go for it, boys.
Yeah, honestly, I just kind of wanted to ask what has been kind of the progress for this team thus far, because definitely Premier is what would be considered like the main project for you guys at the moment in terms of leagues. But how much experience are you guys getting kind of off the server, off the cash cups? Are you guys really solidifying yourselves as a 5 or a 6?
Yeah, so we haven't practiced much with Marky yet, but obviously we brought in Fang a couple of weeks ago, and I think the cash cups and all these premier matches are getting us good experience for like match environments, because obviously scrims, like, people might play a little bit differently compared in matches. So having these matches constantly, like I think this week we have another match tomorrow, and then we have closed qualifier for DreamHack, and then we have Cash Cup. So we're playing matches like every day, getting that experience in. So I think it's really good for us, especially for some of us inexperienced players, like Fang, for example. He hasn't been playing with us for that much, but can already see the improvement from him. And I think all these matches that we're playing is getting him in his comfort zone, and that's what we need from him.
All right, and Josh, I gotta ask: is the op becoming kind of a hybrid thing between you and Sonic? I know Sonic was opping for the most part. I think pretty much the entire bit of Inferno. Is that something you guys are going to start experimenting with, or was that just sort of a one-off, one-game deal?
Yeah, we had some trouble with our Inferno in the past, so we decided to have me switch to B and have him be the main opera at A. And I still think Sonic's like a really good opera, and he can definitely fill my shoes. But I also have confidence in my rifle. It's just the combination of players sometimes doesn't really work out. Like our combos might not be as good, so we're just like trying to switch it up and see if it works better for us. But so far I can't really tell. It's been going okay, I think. But yeah, for some maps we've been trying to flip it around to see how it goes.
All right, well, good job today on getting your win, and so far in the league, not really having too many problems, even winning yourself that Cash Cup. Things seem to be going well for you, OC. Thanks for the interview, mate.
Yep, no problem, guys. Take care.
There you go. That's a great NA interview. You know, I'm not going to name any names, but I've done a couple of NA broadcasts before. I've asked questions. I've had one-word replies. OC, he's given me some great answers. You know, a very good look into some of how that team functions and where they're at. You know, some thoughtful answers. So it's really, really good. I'm really enjoying all so far in the Esea Premier. All of the interviews we've had. You know, we had Swisher before as well. All the boys really giving us some good info on the teams, and it's good to get to know everybody in this league, because that's what it's really about there, Upmind. It's about developing the players and seeing the talent that's out there in North America, right?
Yeah, lots of players are outspoken. I mean, 90% of them are streaming all the time anyways, so they have a lot of time in front of the camera anyways. So, yeah, I mean, you mentioned Swisher. Swisher, it actually stood in for Eclipse tonight, actually.
Okay.
So, a little bit weirder. A little bit weirder, if I'm not mistaken. Am I saying that right, or am I crazy for saying that? I think I am crazy. No. I think I'm legitimately crazy for saying that. But no, Swisher's a very entertaining guy. Same thing with the OC. Same thing with really everyone that's actually interviewed, and especially like the smaller teams too that actually come out from advanced. It's actually really surprising how much knowledge they actually have in terms of what would be the league in general, what would be their opponents. And honestly, it's kind of healthy to see kind of the teams really scrimming out each other, giving each other that experience, and especially now for the Pro Tour going forward, a lot of these teams, they're going to be scrapping together.
Well, it's good that you do mention the Pro Tour and you do mention the ESEA League as a whole. If you guys are interested in finding out more about that, you just need to go to esl.gg/ESEA Premier. You're having a giggle there. It's a great website, though. You know, it has all the information, has the up-to-date sort of standings and what the next match is coming up, especially if we're not casting it here on ESL CSGO. You'd have all the big streams and community casters and all that kind of stuff, right, Boggs?
Oh, yeah, you do. There's a lot of people covering these games. It's hard to find a game that's not being covered, and there's so much great action here in North America and across a whole in ESEA Premier. So you cannot get enough of Counter-Strike. We have all this coverage, so go head over to that website. And if you want to join them in Premier too, you make your way through Open, IM, Main, Advanced, and into Premier and try your hand at this yourself.
Yeah, lots of opportunities there for players of all regions. Either way, though, that's going to do it for our North American broadcast of ESEA Premier for today. Thank you all for tuning in, and make sure to come back with us again sometime soon. See you.